Been a while, man. Been real busy lately. Real sick. Has been a challenge trying to get to the ink stream lately, but yeah, just been a little under the weather. And but here we are, going to try to start inking this beast right here. Got Judge Dredd versus Terminator. That's a T600. So yeah, try to get in there right now. All right, so we got the big chin right there. There's that. Working on the helmet right here. There we go. Let's see here. All right. Come back and probably redesign the eagle right here a little bit. That'll probably be like the last thing I ink, just because I want it to look a certain way. If you guys haven't checked out the Judge Dredd movie with Carl Urban, I recommend it, man. It's a great film. It's I think it's the best one. Hopefully they make another. So hopefully they do. All right. Moving right along. Got the helmet done. I'm probably gonna switch to a little micron. I like these number 8s. Eights and 2s. Everyone's got their favorite kind of style for the microns, what thickness they like. Right, start working on the shoulder pad right there. There we go. There we go. There's that. Right, moving up right here. Coming up on the Primal premiere. I've been trying to go back and rewatch some of the old season 1, season 2. I guess the new season drops on Sunday, so that's going to be interesting. See where they take it from there. Switted, thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. Steve England, hey, Dredd, yep. Thanks, man. Yeah, for those of you guys that don't know, this is Judge Dredd and new to the channel. I do draw streams usually try to do a couple a week. I've been a little under the weather. It's been a little different at my job. Been switching up the schedule a lot lately, so having to be there a little more lately. But I do reviews on here. I'm also doing a comic book of my own. I'm working on that. Going to be launching a Kickstarter in March. So I'm building my Kickstarter page, and I just launched my new web store, actually. So if you guys ever want to go check that out, I got my comics up there, and I also have some art up there for sale right now. So I'll be cycling through different pieces, depending on relevancy and what's actually selling, what people might want to pick up, what they don't like. So, but yeah, I have all that links in the description. You guys ever want to check that out? All right. I think so we got the Billy Club. I might just use a ruler for this. Kind of want to a little bit. There we go. Got the baton right there. Gotta have the baton. All right, let that dry right there. Would you do a drawing of a soldier boy from The Boys? Drawing of yeah, sure, I would do that. He was a pretty cool character on the show. I never read the comic with him. I read the first graphic novel, which was pretty good. My buddy let me borrow it like way back in the day. It was pretty raucous. It had like parts of season 1, 2, and 3, like in that first one. Yeah, his shield is pretty cool. Yeah, Homelander's pretty cool too. Oh yeah. I don't know if the new Boys season dropped yet. I still haven't finished the last season yet. I saw today that they have a new Lobo series coming out by Scotty Young and Jorge Corona. I might have to check that out. Butcher holding up a dripping crowbar would be super dope. Oh yeah, definitely. I would make him fight. Try to come up with something like that. I think that would be fun. Could be a lot of fun. I just saw that the new seasons in March. I just seen the new Robin Hood trailer with Hugh Jackman. I think that movie looks awesome. Yeah. I guess a lot of people are really like kind of upset about it. It seems like majority wise, at least I don't know the ones on Twitter, but I guess a lot of people liked the trailer. It had a lot of likes. Maybe like 60,000, or I don't know. There was more likes than dislikes, but there's a big vocal amount of people online on Twitter that are not happy with it. They're sick of the deconstructionist type story. But the thing is about Robin Hood is they've never really done a proper Robin Hood movie that's historically accurate, because in the movies he's depicted as having this, he's a landlord essentially that comes back from the Crusades a lot of the time, and he's connected to Richard the Lionheart. And in reality, that's not really the first Robin Hood. The first Robin Hood was a yeoman, and he was from Yorkshire. He wasn't from Nottingham or Sherwood Forest. The first stories of him were told through ballads as well, passed down. He wasn't really robbing from the rich and feeding to the poor. He was just kind of robbing the rich, So in the new movie, it looks like they're kind of leaning more into that. And then you got Bill Skarsgård as Little John, essentially Pennywise and Wolverine teaming up. And it's got that look of like the Northman. Looks badass. I think I don't know if the deconstructionist story if people want to call it that, is if it's done right, it could be like the best shit ever, as far as I'm concerned. I understand why people get kind of tired of it and they just want to see some real heroic figures. I get that, but I also feel that Robin Hood needs to, he needs his due propers. And the last few Robin Hood movies I've seen since Prince of Thieves have just been very mid. I think Prince of Thieves is the best one. But I like the character. I like seeing different iterations. It's funny, like Kevin Costner. Yeah, he's not even British. That first movie was the shit, So I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to seeing the, and see what happened was, the Crown. They didn't like what the people were doing. What the peasantry was doing with Robin Hood, and they decided, well, let's take advantage of this character and let's write our own plays and make him more like a rich nobleman. Instead of a yeoman. And so we'll tie him to King Lionheart and da-da-da-da. So that was a way for them to basically do propaganda with Robin Hood. And they would have the Robin Hood days, the Robin Hood games, and that's when a lot of the peasantry would think about revolting and whatnot. So that's when they had to start changing the plays around, making him rob from the rich and feed to the poor and things like that. But if you guys go back and do like a deep search, you'll see all the old, there's I think like 3 old stories that's way before he even starts feeding to the poor. There's one where he's just chilling, I think, with him and Little John and a couple of his merry men, and a knight comes through and they just hunt like a rabbit. And the knight owes this, I think he owed like a friar, or a cardinal, like 4,000 pounds or some shit. And he didn't have it. And so Robin loaned him the money, and then they planned on killing this guy, this dirty cardinal. From what I understand, this is a long time ago when I heard the story, and he ends up going to meet the cardinal with coin in hand from Robin Hood. And he puts the bag of his purse on the table with the coin in it, and the cardinal is just dumbfounded, doesn't know what to do, and he gets out. But I think that the cardinal ends up going through the forest, and Robin ends up stealing his money and getting his money back, and it's pretty funny. Yeah, but there's a lot of tales out there. He's a legend, But yeah, those first stories though, man, it's not necessarily the way it's supposed to be. So I look forward to seeing that new Robin Hood movie. I think it's gonna be badass. Hey, what's up? How's it going, Phil? Thanks for stopping by, man. You guys go check out Phil's Western, man. The Man with No Strings. It's badass. I just read it. I'm gonna have to drop a little quick review on that. It's got the 0 issue out right now on his website at zaid.com. And if you guys are into the supernatural horror weird westerns or whatnot, you'll definitely dig it. And yeah, the 0 issue's out right now, and he's going to be launching the issue number 1 pretty soon here. Yeah, it was badass, dude. And the art in there is just phenomenal. Yeah. Isabedra, man, he really killed it. 100%. Let's see here. I know there's some chains in here too. Usually has his name right here, but this is going to be covered up. Maybe kind of just dissipating into the fold. But I think I'm gonna draw some primal after this. I kind of made up my mind on that. For those of you guys that don't know about primal, I think I'm gonna have spear fighting, the OG spear fighting, and the zombie version of himself on a astral plane somewhere. It's either gonna be that, or it's gonna be spear fighting a zombified version of Fang. One of the two. We'll see how that goes. So I wanted to draw Primal, but never really had like a inspiration, you know. It's got to come from somewhere for me to draw it. Otherwise, I'm just like, eh. Yeah, I definitely dug the story, Phil. Can't wait to see where you take the man with no strings. What's that? Let's see here. I'm looking for barbarian movies. I'm watching these documentaries on the different barbarian movies from the 80s. There's a lot of them, but a lot of them aren't that good. And the ones that are good are just they're just not on the same level as Conan. Like, not even the best one is. None of them are. Not even Conan the Destroyer or Red Sonja. But so far, it's definitely the Sword and the Sorcerer, Deathstalker. Well, actually, I should say Beastmaster would be my favorite after Conan. So you got like the Beastmaster, you got the Sword and the Sorcerer, you got Deathstalker. Then there's also the Barbarians. You got those two like New York twins. I guess they came down from New York. They got sponsored by Gold's Gym. And it's directed by the Italian director that did Cannibal Holocaust. I've seen that movie. It's pretty good, actually. It's cheeseball, but it's fun, real fun. It's called The Barbarians, and these twin brothers. I recommend it. You know, if you want some good old fashioned like '80s barbarian fun, entertainment wise. Yeah. But there's some movies on there. There's one with David Carradine I wanted to check, or Richard Carradine. Was it Richard? I always forget the name of the guy from Kung Fu Kill Bill. He's got one called The Sorceress, The Sword and the Sorceress, I think. Yeah, where he's just fucking drunk through the whole movie filming, but it looks badass. And the sword fights look really fun. I'm hearing good things about it. Genuine Comics. Hey, what's going on, man? You guys in the chat, drop your links if you can. He's got some awesome comics out too, man. If you guys ever go check out his channel, his books. He's got a barbarian book coming out too. That one's going to be real special. It's a Centaur barbarian. David Carradine, that's right. And I always said his name like right off the bat, you know, like I knew who he was right off the bat, you know. But I always knew Richard from Revenge of the Nerds. You know, that was the first one, and my dad would always tell me like, "Hey, that's the guy's brother from Kung Fu." You know, that's I'm like, no, it's not. They don't even look the same. And then you find out about Keith Carradine, which is the other brother. He was the one doing all the westerns. Yeah, but Richard's in a bunch of stuff. You know, he's like the kind of like the comedic version of the few. One of them's a cowboy. I mean, and there's a movie with there's a western, I think, with all four of them, if I'm not mistaken. But I gotta say, man, David Carradine's got some fun looking movies. I can't wait to watch that cheesy ass Sword and Sorcery movie. And that one's not really a barbarian. I guess it is a barbarian movie, but it's not like the typical one. He looks he's kind of got like his, you know, he's not super swole, you know. He doesn't have that Conan build, you know, but he's definitely like a cool looking character. He's got a cape and I think he might have like a scimitar's type sword. And he's fucking drunk. The making of it. So wasted, dude. Oh my god. There's one too with Oliver Reed where he plays the bad guy. He plays like a like a warlord, and he's just so wasted in the movie. He was supposed to be in, I think, Conan the Destroyer, but he was just too drunk. He couldn't. They had to fire him. And David Carradine was so drunk on the Sword and the Sorceress. I believe that's the name of the movie. Don't quote me, but he was so fucking drunk all the time that the director had to have somebody there all the time with him so he wouldn't overdrink. Yeah, man. It's wild. I wonder how that was with Tarantino when he was filming him on Kill Bill. He seems a little more restrained in that movie, but wow, I didn't know it was like that. Let that puppy dry a little bit. So we got Dredd. I can't wait for that, Ravik. Are you going to be launching that this year in 2026? Or is that going to be a 2027 book, do you think? Judging from your estimates, Dave. Might be 2027. We still have a lot of work to do on it. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, man, I'm gonna have to reach out to you, bro. I'm gonna be launching a Kickstarter here in March, so maybe I could come on your Sunday show and we could talk about it a little bit, among other things. I'm setting up my Kickstarter right now. Yeah. Let's see. Hey, Montoya, what's up, man? Long time no see. How you doing, bro? Just let me know a date and we'll schedule that in. Hell yeah! It's been so long since I was supposed to do Hell War in a year and it took me 3 years. So yeah, it really puts things in perspective on what you want to do, and it's crazy. I'm gonna have to hit up everybody. A lot of people don't have shows anymore too, so it's a different landscape now. I know I'm trying to get my promotion going more too. Just waiting for that schedule to open up a little more. It's been pretty tight the last year or so. Your schedule's kept you from streaming? Yeah. Okay, yeah, me too, man. A lot of change in 5 years. I feel the indie scene is more fragmented now. Yeah, it's definitely fragmented for sure, huh? Yeah. I could see that. Feel like there's still areas of opportunity for us to really kind of get things going again. even better than the way they were. It's going to take some time, I think, for everything to kind of line up just right for everybody. But I see it definitely making a resurgence. Maybe this year, maybe, start getting things lined up again. Start having those conversations, It's basically like you got to get a bunch of people together and kind of start talking about stuff, talking about shows, pushing other shows. But most importantly, it comes from the fans kind of running everything, You get more fans of a lot of books and people really behind a movement of comics and free speech therein. That could be very fun and entertaining, I think. So a lot of that censorship is still there in comics, especially in the mainstream. It didn't go anywhere. It's just no one talks about it really anymore. But yeah, you best believe it's there. The beauty of these is we can make our own comics and say what we want to say without having to, worry about anything. A lot of people put out books that didn't get basically fulfilled, A lot of campaigns went unfulfilled. So, but that's okay. You got to kind of just judge every creator, by their own merit, Check that track record and whatnot, If you buy from someone and they always, deliver books and you ain't got nothing to worry about, or say if they, something happened and they can't deliver right away, there's obviously extenuating circumstances, you're going to give them some leeway. But there was a lot of cats that came out and then that made books for their first time, and they just kind of disappeared. I have a lot of campaigns that I back that I know I'm never gonna see people again. Let's see here. Thanks, Montoya. Thanks for stopping by, man. Long time no see, and Happy New Year. Hopefully we see more of you here, and yeah, man. But there's definitely a lot of people still making, books and crowdfunding books, and so that hasn't changed. I mean, you look over on Kickstarter, there's still tons of people doing it, so things are good still. It's still a happening. All right, do that for now. So working on this belt buckle right here. I love these pins, man. You can do anything with them. Put on my lap box. Hey, I found you again. How's your hey, man? Pretty good. It's getting over a cold a little bit. Trying to draw this Judge Dredd right here. Thanks for stopping by. Dredd versus Terminator. Oh yeah, Judge Dredd. I can't wait for another Judge Dredd movie. I was really hoping they would make a TV show of it. Just so cool. I think it would be an awesome TV show. It'd probably just be too expensive. I think that would be the main problem, though. Possibly. am the law. And then you got Stallone. I am the law. I am the law. Carl Urban. He says it better. I am the law. Sand Demon. With the success of the Fallout show, I could see a Dredd show maybe working. Great series, great art. Oh yeah, man, it is a great show. I'm enjoying Fallout too. That Walt Goggins, man, he's always good. I remember just seeing him in House of Thousand Corpses, among other things back then. Still got to check out the Justified. I feel bad for never watching that show. Bunch of stuff. I like how shameless he is too. He's just everywhere. He's all over Walmart, and you know, that's how you got to be, man. You know, when you tap into something, when you get a good hit, whether it be a song or a movie or a comic or whatever, you ride that hype train. You fucking ride that train until the wheels fall off, because nothing's gonna last forever, you know. And you make your fucking money and you stick it in a mattress. You know who else was doing that a lot too was Samuel L. Jackson. You know, he would just keep working, because the work ain't gonna be there forever, you know. But yeah, he's smart. Yeah. I see him dressed. He was dressing up as he was the Grinch for Walmart. Yeah, and that ghoul character, man, he's so good in there. Yeah. Good character. Someone had a picture of him as Harvey Dent, Two-Face, you know? Goggins. Look cool. Look pretty cool. Dude's going to get a lot more roles now, too, because of that. You know, he's just kind of he's in the zeitgeist now. He finally got it. He's one of those cats, too, that's been around forever, you know? Big character actor. But I think that Justified show really kind of helped his career a lot. That was really that was a big role for him. Out here where I live. Oh, let's see here. Do you have any inspiration for your style? As far as others, there's a lot of other artists that inspire me. Probably somewhere around like 30. There's definitely a lot. But as far as like inspiration goes, yeah, there's a lot of artists out there, man. You could probably throw a name out there and I'd say, yeah, you know, definitely that's an inspiration, you know. But I really like Mad Magazine, those artists growing up, like Mort Drucker, Jack Davis, Buscema. I was a 90s kid, so I know a lot of that rubbed off on me as well. I was reading the Max a lot. Was really into that. Spawn. Spider-Man at certain stuff. I really like the Sabretooth comic growing up as a kid. I was really young. I had the Batman movie adaptation by Danny O'Neill and Jerry Ordway. But yeah, definitely like, tons of inspiration, man. Frank Frazetta, Bernie Wrightson, Simon Bisley. Yeah, this list goes on and on. Some tons of old school cats like Will Eisner, Gil Kane, Todd McFarlane, Sam Keith, Eric Powell. Kyle Hotz. He's one of my favorites. Mike Plug. Recently, also a big one. Yeah. John Buscema, How to Draw Comics the Marvel Way. I was looking at that a lot. So, and I love that art. And now, Conan, it's Robert De La Torre. He's a new one. Really good artist. Like his work. That new Nick Klein guy, he's awesome. Daniel Warren Johnson's awesome. Don't really agree with his politics, but he's a badass. Yeah, I could just keep going on and on. And I just, like different artists too, just for different things. We got Mobius. Obviously, he's awesome. H.R. Giger is awesome. I take inspiration from writing too, wherever I could see it. Robert E. Howard. I think he didn't do too much. He did a lot of art, but he's done more writing. But his work's pretty out there. Is Clyde Barker. Lovecraft's good too, obviously. There's just some people too that kind of might have did like one comic book series, and their art was just really really cool at the time, and I liked it growing up. One of them is the Sabretooth series by Mac Texiera. Really liked that growing up. I liked the way that he drew Wolverine and Sabretooth in that book, and I think that was Sabretooth's first series. Sabretooth is one of my favorite comic book characters too growing up. Hey man, Wolverine were dope, but I always kind of gravitated more towards Sabretooth. Just because I don't know, you kind of see yourself in certain characters. He was a big blonde dude, I was kind of like, I was a blonde kid. Greg Capullo, he was a big influence on me as well. Still is. Guy's awesome. Love the way he, just his art in general. Go off on his style. It's pretty badass. It's kind of cool to like know who's out there right now making books. Jim Lee's awesome. Mark Silvestri. The book Pit when I grew up was when I was a kid was really cool. Obviously, Dale Keown's a badass artist too. You know, I liked Pit growing up. I think I had the first couple issues. I still have them too in the garage. I just remember though growing up, the two issues of Pit that I liked was the one where he's fighting the werewolf in an alley. I think that was like issue 2 or 3, maybe something like that. And then he had the crossover one with the Max, and I thought that was just cool. I thought they were cool characters, you know. And Spawn, man, it's Tom McFarlane. Just you kind of grew up in that era in the '90s. Everything was just so extreme. I don't think that's something that's really you could really shake, you know. I mean, you can, but I think for a lot of artists, it's profound in their style, you know. I know it is for me, obviously. Whether I'm good or bad or not, like I'm always doing even the whole metal thing. That's totally '90s, you know. Metal is fucking extreme, you know. The whole mindset, just kind of, it's very '90s. I really do think that was the best time to grow up. I really do. We had everything, everything, just enough of everything, you know. You got to play video games. If we really needed to research something, we could go on the internet. The internet. Look it up or get a book and read about it. If not, it would just turn into like something legendary and be even more interesting. Let's see. I'm starting to get back into my comics. I have a big collection, mainly Spider-Man though. No, that's cool, man. I actually like during the '90s, there was a big Spider-Man, you know, the Clone Saga. I'm really into that. I really like the character Kane. He's such a fucking cool character. I really want to draw him. And I liked John Romita Jr.'s artwork when he was doing the Ben Reilly stuff. I think Ben Reilly and Kane Parker are like really interesting, you know, in their '90s way, you know, and just the art, character design. Just seems like a fun thing to collect, you know. Go back and read that because I never read it. But I always thought Kane looked so cool, man. And he had some really badass powers. And the '90s had a lot of really cool books. There's a book called Arachnus too by I think Mike Ortiz. Yeah, and he did like a 5-parter. I got to pick those up. I heard him talking about making a sequel to that and what he was doing with spiders and spider tech. I was just, oh man. And he's kind of like somewhat in the scene right now. He goes on some live shows and stuff. But what he has lined up for storyline for that, oh man. Just thinking like, hope Marvel's not listening to this guy talk right now because he's doing some cool shit. He's thinking he's got some really cool ideas for what you could do with the spider tech and whatnot. That character, man. Oh, metal as fuck. Arachnus. If you guys never heard of Arachnus, Google it. Badass '90s miniseries comic. Yeah, my kid was digging that. Showed him some pictures of that. We gotta go pick. I gotta order those. So much stuff I want to get. There's just like so many good artists too, and like the whole 2000 AD crew, like Brian Bolin and Steve Dillon and Glenn Fabry and Alex Horley. He's another one now that's killing it. He just did like a he painted the whole first Conan comic ever to be painted. It was issue 25. It was like 30 pages painted. Awesome. Such a good artist. Yeah. So I take inspiration from all kinds of, things. Yeah, I don't care, Someone says, "Hey, that looks like that. You took inspiration from that?" Yeah, I probably did. If I see something I like it and I want to incorporate it in my style, then I do it. If I see something in someone else's style, I think that could make my style better. I want to do it. Yeah, I'll definitely do it. I'm not gonna waste time about that. At least right now. Chances are someone style, like they have their own style, and they probably learn what they know from other cats that they like too. That new Lobo looks awesome though. I'm not gonna lie. That new comic looks fucking badass. It's written by Scotty Young and I think we were talking about earlier, Jorge Corona or George Corona. Yeah, and his motorcycle travels at the speed of sound. Yeah, I can't wait for you guys to see the Hell War book I'm putting out. I'm trying to get the price point down though. It's not as easy as I thought it would be, even for a black and white book. What I'm trying to do, it's going to be large format, but the printing is pretty expensive. And then I have like stretch goals and whatnot. But I'm going to be dropping a trailer for that in a couple weeks. I dropped a teaser for it, and the trailer will be coming out. I'm going to open up a email sign up, so people, if they want to sign up for the book, I'm going to have something special for them if they sign up and then back the book. And then the lettering's going by pretty good. I plan on finishing the lettering up hopefully in the next month. And then I'm going to send it off to the printers. I'm going to get a prototype so that way I can have the prototype up on Kickstarter. People can see what it's actually going to look like. And then once the prototype comes back, I'm going to make some more final edits, see how it actually looks once it's printed, because I have ambitions and I have visions of what I want it to look like, but it doesn't mean it's going to look that way. But for me, my vision, the book's going to be very gritty and dirty. It's going to look very homemade. But when it's printed, it's going to smell good, But I want it to look like it's something you picked up at like a record store or a dirty old comic store, I want it to look very just kind of scanned and put together. Someone kind of just made it too from like, it was back in the, like someone had an experiment that they did with a comic book back in the 90s. And this, you found it like in the back of a record store or in a comic book store or an old book or a used bookstore, right? And it looked like somebody just kind of put it together and no one bought it. But yeah, that's the visual aesthetic I'm going for with the book. So when you look at it, you're like, what the fuck was he thinking? But that's, you have a vision for things and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And then you live and you learn, Sometimes we got to learn the hard way though, because we're knuckleheads. I know I did that with my first book. And you still, sometimes you want to, you let people look at something and you want to, you want to hear what they got to say, but you want them to say what's in your head, and it's not always what happens. And then you're still like, I'm not going to listen to them. And you're like, maybe I should have. It's like, well, what do you want me to say? It's good to get people around you too that'll be honest with you too about your stuff and your ideas. Because most of the time they're right, but sometimes you're going to be right, and that's what's going to suck because you'll never know if you're right or not, and everyone else could be wrong. But most of the time, everyone else is right. When it comes to like editing your comic or an idea for a comic or things like that, you know. Let's start layering, putting down some blacks on this right now. I think I'm gonna start doing it right now. Yep. I listened to the Smashing Pumpkins yesterday. They got so many good hits. It's crazy. It's crazy how they put out that double album, the Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness. Not a lot of people do that. There's a metal band that I like called Soilwork. They're one of my favorites. They put out a double album one time. They literally like wrote all these songs. They put it out, and they're just, I saw an interview with them. And they were kind of talking about like we didn't know what the fuck we're doing, but they came out with some cool jams just because they were all like really good at what they were doing. The drummer went on to Megadeth. Yeah. What's the name of that album? I forgot. The Living Infinite by Soilwork. That's a double album right there. I don't know of that many metal bands or rock bands that put out double albums. I'm not saying that don't do it, but it's very rare. All right, man. Well, just got off work, so I'm gonna head out. Always nice watching you draw, and I'm definitely waiting for the book. Have a good night, man. Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, I'm gonna be launching it in March, so it should be on Kickstarter, hopefully. Fingers crossed. And yeah, trying to get the pricing down, but I don't know if I'm gonna be able to do it. That's the sad part. It's probably gonna be as much as the other books because it's a big book, and printing's up there, and so is shipping. So yeah. It's probably going to be $20. The book's going to be $20. It's 106 pages plus special or behind the scenes stuff, and then the shipping is going to be like 10, so it's going to be like $30. But I was trying to get it down, but it's not a floppy. It's a bigger book, large format. But the crowdfund fees and taxes, they take a lot from you, man. They take a lot out of it. If the crowdfunding wasn't so expensive, you wouldn't need that much of a goal sometimes. Let's see here. Do you have a link on your page? I don't have a link for my new book yet, but I'll have that out pretty soon. Yeah, I'm thinking probably in about 2 weeks. We're gonna have everything full. Well, I'm not launching the book until March, so still got a while. But I'm gonna have a sign up page pretty soon, and then I'll have like a sign up page on Kickstarter and like a preview page, But in the description, I have a bunch of links. Oh, thanks for reminding me. There's a link in there for Father of Fantasy, Conan's father, Robert E. Howard. If you guys want to donate to his house and museum, it's a museum house you guys could go to in Texas to see where he wrote with his typewriter and everything. The house is like bowing out. It's like falling apart, so it needs to be reconstructed. That way, it keeps his legacy alive. If we ever want to go to like the Conan Howard days, to see that and whatnot, it's got to be just kept up, So there's a link in there. It's for the Robert E. Howard Foundation. If you guys want to check that out, should be in the description. And then I have my links in there too as well for other stuff. Got my store up on there. If you guys want to go, just a little store. I just have comics and a couple art pieces up for sale. Yeah, it was crazy. I was actually I actually don't have problems thinking of stuff to draw on this show. But for a minute there, I was zapped, man. I could think of stuff, but I didn't want to draw it, I gotta be inspired and want to check stuff out and draw it, like Terminator versus Judge Dredd, or RoboCop versus Judge Dredd, or something like that. Bet I'll check them out. I'll see you around, man. Yeah, you too, man. Have a good day. Nice. So we got this. This glove right here. There we go. Those boots. Get some work done tonight. Putting in some inks, you know. Nothing crazy, but we get in there. Start working on this boot now. Right, we got some boots. boots. Let's see here. Try to find something a little thinner. That'll work. All right. Get these scruffs in there, you know. I want his boots just like scratched up rubber, you know. He's been through riots and all kinds of shootouts and all kinds of good stuff, you know. That's Dredd. You gotta have that in there. It's gotta be in there. Let's see here. Before I forget. Intentionally irrelevant. Awesome stuff, dude. Looks sick. Oh, thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it. Hope you're having a good midweek day. Well, actually, it might be Friday Junior right now. Friday Junior is awesome. In some ways, it's actually better than Friday because you know that you have Friday ahead of you. For those that are off on the weekend, that's the way I always saw it. Like for me, the day before Thanksgiving, the day before vacation is always the best because you have all that vacation time right in front of you, you know. That's the way I always see it. Do a little mental rendering note right here. I want to do the. I do like using a lot of pins, though. I'm not gonna lie, for my work now, and then looking at it and seeing the different tones of ink, because some inks are like bluer, some are blacker than others. Yeah, definitely. I'll probably put this. Probably gonna go back over a lot of this stuff too. I like to layer my stuff with effects and textures and things like that sometimes. And this, I like to kind of go out a little bit. Let's see, like that. Go outside the line a little because it looks like this is like a woolly kind of like hempy type material. So I kind of like it to go outside the crosshatch. Kind of whenever I'm drawing like hemp or something like that. That's how I like to do it. Start it outside the line like that. Go in. That way it looks just kind of frayed, I guess. A little frayed. A little bit of a fray. And I like to chop it up a little bit like that too. There we go. And then maybe start doing the patchwork stuff like that. A little bit of randomization here and there. The way it looks like it's a kind of weird garment. I'll come back and add extra phrase too, like that. Little string. A couple little dust particles in there. So leave that for later, just to know. Put you back up on the boot. So I'm just kind of getting in here and I'm doing my little tweaks. Because I'm on further investigation. Seems like 2000 AD gives artists certain liberties with the Dredd costume, you know? Looking forward to that Robin Hood, though, this year. That werewolf movie's going to be badass. There's a bunch of werewolf movies coming out this year again, too. I thought we pretty much had them all. And there's a lot out right now that I still haven't watched. There's that one with just werewolves with Lou Diamond Phillips and Frank Grillo. I haven't seen that one. I still want to watch it. I know there's some CGI in there, but oh well. Then there's one with like Kit Harington that looked pretty cool. Decent. I still want to watch Wolfman. I heard that movie was a decent werewolf movie, just not a Wolfman movie, you know. Fuck it, that's fine. He's still kind of puggish in there. That's cool. But it's, I mean, I'm not going to compare it to Joe Johnston's, and that's the standard right there. And then there was another one. It's like an Argentinian werewolf movie that came out, but it's like a slow burn. Forgot the name of it. The wolf's kind of brown, brownish blonde. In the trailer, you just see like the dude's back get all big, and like, oh damn, it's a werewolf. But there's like 7 werewolf movies coming out this year. There's another one where it's werewolf versus zombies, but it's got a pretty decent budget, and I think it's filmed in New Zealand. I think one of the guys from Lord of the Rings, like not the big name guys, but the ones that would play the orcs. I think it's Sasha Mitchell or something like that. It's either him or one of the dudes, one of the New Zealand actors is playing the werewolf. I forgot his name, man. Yeah. Might be Cliff Curtis or something like that. Yeah, Dog Soldiers is the shit, right? Yeah, for me, just werewolves, they just never get old, man. Especially when they're done right. Vampires too, man. If they could nail a good vampire movie, like different styles, you know. Like I really like 30 Days a Night. You know, I like the brutal vampires. They don't always have to be. They could be monsters too sometimes. Even that movie, The Last Voyage of the Demeter, a lot of CGI in there, but then there was a lot of practical too. I thought that was a cool Dracula. He was a beast, and Nosferatu, respectively. That was good too. That was badass. There we go. Ferratu. I seen a low budget cheese ball, low budget stupid monster, Universal monster movie on Prime called Monster Bash with like Michael Madsen. It has everybody in there like Frankenstein's monster, Wolfman, Dracula, um, Invisible Man, and I was like, this looks cheesy, but I want to watch it. So I want to watch it. It's on Prime though. It's called Monster Mash. Yeah, and it came out in like 2004 or something like that. But I put it on there. I'm a sucker for like the Universal monsters on a team. I'll check it out. Yeah. I know a lot of monster people out there too dig that shit. They won't even tell anybody. They'll watch it with a big old bucket of popcorn and not tell nobody. It's one of those guilty pleasure theoretical movies. Probably gonna suck, but I'll watch it. Had a big CGI werewolf in there, and then it also had a pug Wolfman too in the trailer. And then you get Michael Madsen playing Dr. Frankenstein from from Reservoir Dogs. I am Dr. Frankenstein. Yeah, I think he passed away, didn't he? Must have been like a little bit before that. Good actor. Yeah. Yeah, we got this gun right here. We get some action on there. Still got to watch Gladiator 2. Everybody said that movie was ass. I don't like listening to anybody though about anything, but that's like one movie I'm kind of believing everybody on. Like, don't watch it. Don't watch Gladiator 2, dude. And it's like, I'll get around to it someday. Something about it just doesn't appeal to me. Like the way the effects look, like the CGI mandrakes running around, or baboons, whatever they are. I don't know. It's crazy too how much Ridley Scott's movies kind of suck now. It's weird. Like he's so fucking good, but then like his movies could just be so bad, like boring. It's like, what the fuck? I guess it happens to a lot of directors though, man. I noticed that. It's not everything could be bangers all the time, but I don't know. Yeah, Dog Soldiers would be an awesome for a sequel. They definitely need a sequel, man. 110%. I'm glad they're making the Mummy sequel. I don't know if James Cameron's going to do that movie, The Devils. That movie sounded pretty awesome. I think he needs to like produce the new Avatar movies and just kind of lay off and bring in like 2 new directors, let them do it. I know James Wan wants to direct one of them. I would let that fucker do one of them and then just produce it. He would do a good job. Yeah. If Cameron wants to, I think he wanted the movie to fail so he could kind of break off from it and start working on other stuff. He's working on the Japanese movie about the bomb going off. I know he wants to do that. Ghost of I forgot the name of it. Hirojima or something. I can't fucking remember right now. Yeah. We've already been going an hour and a half. Damn. Got a lot of stuff done today, though. Not gonna lie. I want to make that gun silver, too. Silver gun. Probably gonna, I guess I could do it right now. It's not a big deal. Just gotta watch. No, I'll probably wait. I'm gonna make that gun. I'm gonna pencil that gun. I'm gonna come in there with some of this. Make it nice and silver, kind of like an ink wash. But I'm gonna wait. Yeah. I think my Judge Dredd's gonna be just like black and silver. I think he'll look dope with black and silver instead of black and gold. Yeah, man, that's what I'm gonna do. So this is gonna be silver. All of his chain's gonna be silver. This will be silver. Yeah. I think he would look fucking awesome in black and silver. He would look even more badass, actually. Yeah. The boots look cool. Green. The green is cool too. But I would. If I was doing a Dredd comic that I got to do myself, I was writing and illustrating it. I'd say, yeah, guys, let me make the black and silver. I don't want to give him green boots. I want black boots. I want yeah. Pretty much black knee pads, black shoulder or black elbow pads, black gloves. Or I don't know, they might be white even, so you'd get that kind of Punisher look to it. I think it would look sick, but it would just be silver. That would be my version of Dredd. That's what I'm gonna do with this. Actually, I think it'll look kind of cool. They've probably done that before too. I don't know. But I would totally do that. He looks even cooler like that. Huh. Intriguing. Yeah, what else are we gonna do? I'm gonna do a little bit more. I'm gonna go a few more minutes. Keep working on this guy right here. Let's see. Work on this Terminator face. Been nice getting to draw a little bit tonight. Too many days without getting a drawing. I might be doing a drawing one of these shows during the week, during the daytime too, because I got a weird schedule right now. So might try to do a little 1 hour live stream during the day. Sometime in the day or in the morning Pacific time. So don't be surprised if you see me like in the next month, doing some day shows. Because yeah, it's gonna be weird, kind of challenging. I'm also gearing up for my Hell War book launch, so yeah, things are gonna be kind of topsy-turvy for a bit. Pretty much from now until probably April, actually. Hopefully not that long, but yeah. Yep. Let's work on this rubber face right here. Trying to get that rubbery look, you know. Obviously, it's got a look from the movie, but I want it to kind of look like it's sitting there on the skin a little. There we go. A little bit of rubber. Little bit of rubber. Governor. There we go. A little pocket action right there. Anthony Evercons, thanks for stopping by, man. Appreciate that. This little back ammo pack right there. Work on that a little bit. Let's see here. Right. Right. So we got that right there. Probably gonna get going, guys. Start packing up for about an hour and 45 minutes. Got some Dredd action in there. Got more stuff done tonight than I thought we would, so that's cool. Again, we're just laying this down. I'm gonna go back and start adding some. Well, not now, but later on, I'll start putting in some pencils right here for different tones and stuff like that. Silver marker would look dope on this. I ain't gonna lie, I'm actually kind of like low key want to put some, even get the silver Sharpie and just add it to that. I think it would be kind of sick. Yep. They also have the Sharpie, because they got the Sharpie metallic pack and they have like the brown rust markers. It would look cool on that too. Very tempting, very tempting. I might have to do that. Little things like that you got to do, you know. Got to be willing to fuck the drawing up. It's got a bunch of ink all over my forehead. Nice. All right, guys. Well, thanks for stopping by. I really appreciate it. I hope you guys have an awesome weekend. I'm going to try really hard to get in here tomorrow night. It's going to be a late night show. It'll probably be super late if I can, like super duper late in the morning. So we'll see if I can. I got a big day tomorrow, a lot of stuff going on. So thanks again for watching. I appreciate you guys. Appreciate you guys. Always remember to be bold, be brave, and roll the bones to know your role. And if the artist isn't starving, then the artist isn't hungry. See you guys. Stay metal.